Virgilio Cementelli.
Oh, just hold it. Okay, good evening all. We need a better flag, by the way. This board could spend some money and get a real flag sometime. Okay, thank you. And, you know, I started complaining about bars and restaurants, especially lounges on Tremont Avenue. We're becoming a strip. 2014, I was here, same thing, seems like deja vu, in front of the board. Some of you yelled at me, said I was not informed correctly when I said that Tremont Avenue is becoming a lounge, a strip of bars. And when I was informed by the residents about 8 months ago of Made in Puerto Rico, which this application that's in front of here, we organized, we came out here, came to the meeting, thank God. Made in Puerto Rico, she had to give up her license before she lost her license, which was positive. We understand we have new owners, and I wish them luck. I just wish that we have something in return here. This is a trouble spot, and the community board needs to be more active on this. And I want to talk about some of the method of operations here, because we need to discuss that. We need to eliminate this 3 o'clock Fridays and Saturdays. Vista Mar on City Island is going to close at 2 o'clock. I think 2 o'clock is an appropriate time. The rest of the week here, does it have to be until 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock a.m.? Why don't we make it until 12 o'clock? I mean, this board, it's up to this board to negotiate. It's up to this board to say to troubled spots, troubled locations that we have, to say no. We want better results. So I think the board dropped the ball here, like they've been dropping, and I was hoping that this board was going to be different under the new leadership. But I'm starting to see the same thing. I don't see any change. I'm given an opportunity to see change, but I'm sorry. I don't mean to be critical or sound personal, but this board's dropping the ball again. Made in Puerto Rico was an example, and that we need to use that. What other bars? Vapor Lounge, they had a stripper bar. They had a party, a bachelor party, they had strippers there. It was on News 12. Disgusting, come on. What happened to our community? What is going on to our community? The gentleman said, you know, he was absolutely right. We could have had 6 drunken sandhoggers coming out of the bar. And they would not urinate in front of our neighbors. They would not have sex, throw bottles. Well, I've just given up my time. Thank you. Thank you, folks. I would like a half a minute warning before my time is up, please, for the future. I'd like half a minute. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Hello all, just as a point of interest, I want to make sure that we're certain on state law. We can't force anyone to close sooner than 4 a.m. They're allowed to be open up until 4 a.m. Ownership can come to us and say, well, we can close earlier for you, but they have their authority to close at 4 a.m. We cannot force that. So as a point of interest, I want to clear the air there. We can suggest it, as we always do, but it's up to the ownership to, of course, work with us and tell us different.
So that would have to be something done with the administrative code? Like that would have to be something done in New York City with the councilman, the administrative code?
State, let's say,
Our final speaker, Candida Rosa.
Sorry. I'm here to support the site plan for my dad.
I'm sorry. I'm here to support the site plan of McDonald's. I'm a customer.
Thank you. This closes the public speaking portion of our night.
I just want to give a quick shout out to some of the reps from the elected officials. We have Jose Rodriguez from Senator Klein. You want to say a minute? Okay, cool. Thank you. Perfect.
I was looking for.
Perfect. As Jose walks up, we have our Bronx Times reporter, Patrick.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jose Rodriguez. Once again, from Thank you. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of State Senator Jeff Klein, I send greetings on behalf of the Senator. My name is Jose Rodriguez. I'm the District Director for the Senator. Just want to say, I walked in during the presentation for the 9/11 memorial. If I'm not mistaken, the piece of the steel beam actually was donated by our office. We were able to acquire that piece of steel, and I'm glad, if I'm not mistaken, if that's the piece of steel in question, our office was instrumental in acquiring that piece of steel, and I'm actually glad they were able to finally have a proper memorial. Unsuccessfully, we tried with the Parks Department, and we were told that the city of New York was no longer creating memorials due to 9/11. Really quick, just want to outline a couple of legislative agendas under the leadership of Senator Klein and the Independent Democratic Caucus. Just some of the things that they're working on in their One New York agenda. Cutting New York City income taxes for the most vulnerable. Also, the statewide swift response to the federal tax changes. In other words, if an individual pays $13,000 in property tax, should this piece of legislation pass, you can deduct.
Too close to your mouth.
And we should get a better mic. An individual can deduct $10,000 from that 13, as an example. Further expansion to the senior citizens home exemption expansion, also increasing the income levels for STRI and DRI. In addition to that, increasing funding towards after-school programming, expansion of pre-K, universal pre-K access, and also, as you know, the Senator has been instrumental in zombie properties, foreclosed properties, and banks just sort of neglecting these properties and leaving them in distressed conditions. Something new that the IDC and the Senator is proposing for this legislative session is for foreclosed property enforcement. In other words, having hiring or having the State Department of Finance hire code enforcement inspectors to inspect these distressed properties, and that should hopefully help your initiative that you all are doing with respect to zombie properties. Thank you very much, and again, on behalf of Senator Klein, I thank you.
We have Mahmoud Kone from the mayor's office. You want to say a few words?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much. Mahmoud Kone from the mayor's office. I just wanted to say thank you to all those who attended the Mayor's State of the City address on Wednesday night. It was a great event, and I think for those of you who attended, the mayor did. The theme for the event that night was making New York City the fairest big city. He laid out a very progressive agenda that we're going to be working. Yeah, so we're going to be working with you, CB10, and other community organizations to make sure that we get that agenda across. So I just wanted to say thank you to CB10 for coming up in support of that. So, and next Wednesday is the Mayor's Black History reception. If anyone in the audience, even though we've closed the invite, but because you guys are special folks, if anyone is interested in attending, I can take your name down and add you to the invite list as a special guest. That's it for me. Any questions?
Yes.
Sure.
Can I ask you, we live in a private community at Jordan Park. Our property taxes were just raised $200,000. We take care of all of our own infrastructure, all of our own security. We take care of all of our own problems. And our property taxes just went up $200,000. I just can't imagine what the mayor thinks about that.
Well, thank you very much for the question. I can get someone from Department of Finance to come in.
I can give you my card.
Yes, if that's something that the pool wants, I can help facilitate that. All right?
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Oh, it's, but I'll tell you, garbage.
Okay.
You know, we have a holiday, unofficial holiday, Lincoln's, is it Lincoln? Yeah, I think it's Lincoln's holiday, Monday, right?
Right.
So garbage pickup skips. Supposed to go to the next day. Pelham Bay, for whatever reason, doesn't get a pickup. We gotta wait until the next week. And I spoke to the superintendent of District 10, Mr. Manson, and he tells me that they don't authorize, they don't have any funding to allow additional pickup. They have to wait, we skip. And that is, how do you skip recyclable? You know, by that time, everything's already full on those containers. And I don't understand. I mean, the mayor wants to put new jails, he wants to put everything else, and he can't do garbage pickups. It's unbelievable.
Well, I know, Matt, I can talk to sanitation about it, but we can also discuss this at the district service cabinet meeting. But I can talk to, I need to get the specifics though, the locations you're talking about, so that I can amplify that with sanitation. Yes, I can, yeah. Well, there's plenty of people here, so. Any other questions for me? I'll be here for the entire meeting. If anyone has any questions, please. All right? The garbage? Just this Monday or, okay, so it was. Okay, so it was just this Monday. Okay. Every, got that. All right, talk note. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it.
We also have Darden from our councilman's office. Councilman Jonas.
All right. Can everybody hear me? All right. Good evening, everybody. I'm Dardan. You call me Dardy. I'm from Councilman Marjone's office. So I know there are a few people here who probably have questions for me. Let's, if you want, you can ask them when I'm done, or we can speak in the back in private, whatever you prefer. So just a few quick notes for everybody. Our office, we just moved district offices, is at 1478 Williamsbridge Road, 1478. It's by Westchester Square. We haven't been getting many people in because we don't have signage yet or anything. So please, we're open. We're ready to help constituents. Right now, there's actually the signage from what it was before. It was a dentistry or something. So don't be confused. If you walk by there and that's what you see, please walk in, and our staff is more than willing and ready to help anyone. So having said that, I really only have one notice for everyone, and that's that discretionary funding is still, the application window is still open. So if anybody has a nonprofit or knows anyone in a nonprofit who's interested in applying for discretionary funding, you have until February 20th. The only rule is that you have to be in good standing with the Charities Bureau, with the New York City Charities Bureau, and I believe your nonprofit had to have been in existence since at least the beginning of fiscal year 2017, July 1st, 2016. If you need any help applying, please do not hesitate. Reach out to our office. Our phone number is 718-931-1721. You can ask to speak with myself. My name's Darty, or anyone who picks up really should be able to help you, or they should be able to at least transfer you to me. That's all, unless anyone has any questions.
As far as the 501Cs, if you want to apply funding, you can do that through anybody else who has a 501c as a conduit, is that correct?
I know that if it's done, the tax ID number can only be used once. So I'm not sure you'd be able to do it, and then say another organization as well.
Okay.
But you know what? If there's any questions, call us, and we'll speak with the finance division, and we'll get any issues sorted out.
Thank you.
I think that officially closes the public session. I don't think I missed anyone else. We need a motion, actually.
Motion to close it.
All in favor?
Good. Good evening, everyone. This time we're going to begin with a public hearing on the McDonald's on East Fremont Avenue, which is a public hearing on BSA calendar number 2017-187BC. At this time, I'm going to turn a presentation by K&L Gates LLP.
Want to bring your presentation? Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. We appreciate the opportunity to address you this evening. This is the first night. I know the public was noticed by certified mail, but for the benefit of the public, I'll just give a little history because you've all seen us a couple times now. But we did come before you last June. Sorry about that. Okay. We did come before you last June. This is, of course, the McDonald's on Phillip and East Tremont. At that time, we received numerous suggestions and then came back again, I believe, in August, and then in September, we presented a revised plan. Jared Jones is to my left. He is the site engineer, and I think we stretched his talent as far as possible to accommodate as many of the concerns as we could that you raised. Some couldn't be addressed as a matter of zoning, as a matter of practical design. Some, of course, were conflicting. You could do one thing but not the other. But again, like I said, we stretched Mr. Jones' talents in designing the site, so I won't take away any of his thunder. I will let him explain to you what the existing condition is, which I think everybody in this room would acknowledge is quite challenged, specifically with what queuing is doing on Phillip. But it's a proposed condition and how that will be improved with Jared's design.
Good evening, everybody. So as everybody's aware, the existing McDonald's exists on the corner. It has windows.
You know what you do? Excuse me. Just show the public. Yeah, the board they have it in front of them. Thank you.
So as you're all aware, the existing building exists on the corner. You have your drive-through windows on this side of the building, and you have your menu board, which obviously backs out into the street. So the main purpose of this application was to try to fix the drive-through issue as much as possible. And while this plan is not perfect, it's definitely an improvement. So we shifted the building all the way down to the south side of the property. Now you have the queue that stacks back this way. We can get approximately the 10th car before we get to the property line. You can get another car. This is a busy restaurant, so it's probably going to still stack into the street. But we're at least getting, previously there's only about 6 cars that can get onto the site. We're at least to 10 and potentially 11. It's a brand new building. Here's pictures of what the building will look like. New landscape treatments at the corner. Previous requests from the board had been to remove or try to limit people entering the site and driving this way to the drive-thru. So we have some additional signage that's over here to direct everybody enter on Phillips for the drive-thru. It's going to be all new infrastructure, new drainage, all new sidewalks, all ADA compliant.
How many parking spaces?
The new application has 12.
12?
12. There's 19 there now. By code, we're required to have 10.
So we're cutting down the parking.
Yes. Cutting down to essentially get the longer drive.
How far it is the drive-through from Funfish?
Say it again, sorry?
How far it is the drive-through from Funfish?
Curb cut?
This curb cut and the curb cut there is about 18 feet apart. Which is a DOT requirement.
18 feet between your driveway and that driveway?
Correct.
We gotta get through the presentation, it's not gonna help it. If you wanted to speak, you had your time at public speaking portion, let them get through the presentation, and then we'll address any questions.
I would just add one thing on that. Parking is reduced somewhat, however, we provided a traffic report which indicated approximately 70% of the clientele goes through the drive-through. So the increased stacking for the drive-through plus the double window that Jared will talk about in a minute, it greatly offsets the reduction in parking. It is a much more predominant use on the site. And of course, when it was originally built, there was no drive-through, which is why it's kind of functioning the way it is today.
So yeah, to speak more about the drive-through, new drive-through actually has 2 menu boards, so two people can be ordering at the same time, which will help speed it up. There's a pay window, and then there's a pickup window, and there's actually even a little bit of room, so if there's a large order, it can direct people to pull forward a little bit, and you can still get around and keep moving. So, as I mentioned, it's not perfect. It's a small site, but I think we've done the best we can to make it better for the community and take care of some of the issues like traffic. It's not ideally parked, but the drive-through is the driving force. So, if there's any questions?
Any questions from the board?
How long is this project going to take?
Any questions from the board?
I got a question. How long is this project gonna take?
So, next steps are before the community board, then we're going to go before the BSA. It's probably going to be twice. So you're talking, let's call it May, before we have approval, if the community board grants it, and we move on to the BSA. We're already in with the DOB. They've reviewed the architectural plans. There's a couple minor comments that'll probably be cleared up in like the next month, let's call it. We have approvals from DOT for the curb cuts in the BPP. So really it's going to be the BSA. We could probably shut the store down sometime in the summer and start construction. So it could be that soon.
And it's usually about 120 days?
Usually 100, well, as long as 120 days, because what happens is you shut down the store, you have to get your disconnect letters. Usually takes about 3 months. We can demo the store, then we can start building a new one. So usually it's 8 months the store's down. Yeah, so the whole process takes a little bit of time.
What's BSA?
Yes, Board of Standards and Appeals. Board of Standards and Appeals. Sorry.
Can we push the easel so the gentleman is standing so everyone in the room can see it?
All construction equipment will be kept on site during it.
Correct.
And I know this question's been asked, I know the last time they did a major renovation, they worked around the clock. They will only be working the normal hours this time, correct?
So the normal construction hours would be 7 to 7. We can apply for after hours variances. They usually do because they're trying to speed up the construction. It only goes till 9 typically.
Right.
But it's completely up to the community, the commissioner.
I mean, the last time they were very inconsiderate, it was 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. You can't do that to the residents. It's not right, we talked about this the last time. So you gotta keep that in mind. You got a lot of residents recognizing.
Yep, I'll pass it on that food.
Any other questions?
I got one question. Julian.
Julian.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, it's not a question, it's a comment. I took a look at your plan, it's not bad, you did a good job on a very tight site. You've accommodated, let me just run through it. You've accommodated the through And you obviously did a study because you got most of it through, you covered about 70% what you indicated. The render, the plans are good, the elevation is good. McDonald's didn't do a bad job on that, but you guys are pros anyway. The elevations are a little uninspired. They're adequate, and they're going to serve the purpose. You see the elevations, but it could have been a little, I thought, a little juicier.
Yeah, they've actually.
A little more creative.
They tried to.
Other than that, let me tell you, you guys did a good job for a very difficult site.
Thank you, we appreciate
And I
it.
hope it works out. The only thing you don't have, I don't think you have sufficient parking in the front, but you can't make parking for everything, and we've got the parking problem here in our own district, and you can't make something out of nothing. You did as good as you could do, and I think it was a good job. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
The public don't know Julian's in-house architect, engineer. And we do have other engineers on our, Andrew?
Okay, you're not gonna like this, but if you eliminated that drive-through altogether, could we get more parking on that site? Get rid of the drive-through. It's been the problem that's killing the neighborhood. So if you
It wouldn't function as a restaurant without the drive-thru. Both are drive-thru.
For the seniors.
I've never been in there. But in Manhattan, they don't have drive-throughs, and they have your stores on every corner.
But everybody walks usually in Manhattan. It's a different community, a different feel, different vibe altogether.
That's why you need the parking.
We also need the drive-thru.
All right, you say that. Think about it though. If you could fit the parking, double the parking and get rid of the drive-thru.
It wouldn't be a double in the parking. You're probably talking about, let's call it 3, maybe 4 more stalls. It's not gonna be a drastic increase because we're still limited by all the zoning requirements, setbacks. You couldn't pick up that much.
Board members, please. If you have a presentation, it's hard enough to hear without all these sidewalks. Andrew?
That's it.
7 months you had to comment. Don't make comments like that. Now, you had 7
Just
months.
a suggestion.
We asked for those already. Don't come down at the last yard and then they ask you to change everything. You had 7 months. Is that right? Any other questions? We got a lot to go through. Any other questions? Go ahead, Tommy.
I think you did a great job with the drive-through, and I know you did your survey on, it's better to do the drive-through, you lost 2 parking spaces. What I gotta commend you is on, I went to a lot of McDonald's, and the drive-through always is in a place where pedestrians always have to walk. Even when they park the car, they gotta walk and they almost get run over by the drive-through. The way you guys did it, you're not endangering any pedestrians. They're all on one side. Person doesn't have to go from the parking lot through the drive-through to get to the store. That was a really big issue, and I like the suggestion that I made, that people from the parking lot can't go into the drive-through to tie up people trying to get out of the parking. 90%, 70% of your business is drive-through. I think you made the right decision.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? All right, real quick, anyone got a question from the public? Not allowed, because it is an odd item. Go once, going twice. Close.
Well, you got a
Where?
No, I had to say something about the parking. We don't need that much parking because the seniors and the students, they walk. They don't need that much parking space.
Thank you. All right.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the proposal.
We have a motion. Tony seconded it. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Unanimous.
Thank you. They've been coming to us since July over this. All right, we got to go into the regular meeting. So, at this point, I want a motion to close the public hearing. You going? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. So carried. All right. Now, the next part, let me turn the page. I think you're up, right? We have Bahad.